Breaking. The impeachment articles were filed at 9:43 Tuesday morning by Representative Jamie Raskin, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, alongside 68 Democratic co-sponsors. But before we dive into this explosive story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what's coming next will shake the entire political world. The charges are devastating. Article 1 accuses Trump of abuse of power for ordering unauthorized military strikes against Venezuela, resulting in civilian deaths. Article 2 charges obstruction of justice for threatening members of Congress with execution after they reminded military personnel about constitutional obligations. Article 3 alleges violation of war powers by deploying military force without congressional authorization. And the evidence package accompanying these articles, according to multiple sources who've reviewed it, came directly from Zohran Mamdani's legal team. The documentation is comprehensive and damning. Authenticated recordings from cabinet meetings where Trump dismissed legal warnings about his Venezuela operations. Classified military assessments showing Trump was briefed on civilian casualty risks and proceeded anyway. White House communication logs proving Trump personally directed threats against senators who opposed him. And most explosively, sworn affidavits from 3 cabinet members confirming they warned Trump his actions were illegal and he ordered them to proceed regardless. This isn't political theater. This is a prosecutorial case built with evidence that could survive criminal trial. Congressional reactions split immediately along predictable lines, but with crucial exceptions. House Speaker Mike Johnson called the impeachment a partisan witch hunt designed to overturn the will of voters. But he couldn't secure unanimous Republican support for that statement. 17 House Republicans declined to co-sign, and 3 explicitly said they needed to review the evidence before commenting. That hesitation is extraordinary. In Trump's Republican Party, questioning impeachment has been absolute heresy. Any wavering signals the evidence is too strong to dismiss reflexively. The Senate presents even more complicated dynamics. Conviction requires 67 votes, meaning at least 17 Republicans would need to defect, assuming all Democrats vote yes. That's always seemed mathematically impossible. But Tuesday afternoon, 3 Republican senators made statements that sent shockwaves through Washington. Susan Collins said she takes all impeachment proceedings seriously and will review evidence thoroughly. Lisa Murkowski stated, constitutional violations cannot be tolerated regardless of party. And most stunning. Mitt Romney declared, if the president ordered strikes knowing civilians would die and without congressional authority, that meets impeachment standards. Those aren't neutral observations. Those are senators signaling openness to conviction. Zohran Mamdani's role in this cascade is now undeniable. The evidence didn't materialize organically. It was systematically collected, authenticated, and delivered to congressional investigators with prosecutorial precision. Mamdani's legal team, stacked with former federal prosecutors and constitutional scholars, has been building this case since Trump's first attempt to cut New York's federal funding. Every Trump overreach was documented. Every legal warning Trump ignored was recorded. Every constitutional violation was preserved with evidentiary chain of custody. Mamdani wasn't just resisting Trump politically. He was building an impeachment file. And now it's being used exactly as intended. Late Tuesday evening, The Washington Post published excerpts from one of the cabinet recordings included in the impeachment evidence package. In it, Attorney General Pam Bondi is heard saying, Mr. President, if you order these strikes without congressional approval and civilians die, you will be impeached. I'm telling you this as your lawyer. Trump's response, let them try. They don't have the votes, and my base will destroy anyone who crosses me. That recording is now Exhibit A in Article 1 of the impeachment. Trump's own Attorney General warned him he was committing impeachable offenses, and he did it anyway while explicitly acknowledging the political consequences. Republican senators are now facing the nightmare scenario they've avoided for years. Evidence so clear that defending Trump requires defending obvious criminality. Multiple GOP senators reportedly held emergency conference calls Tuesday night, discussing whether conviction votes would end their political careers or continuing Trump loyalty would. One senator, speaking anonymously to Politico, admitted, if we don't convict and he commits more violations, we're complicit. If we do convict, we're destroyed in primaries. There's no safe choice. That's not political calculation anymore. That's existential crisis for the Republican Party. Public pressure is intensifying faster than anyone anticipated. Within 12 hours of impeachment articles being filed, over 3 million people contacted congressional offices demanding Trump's removal. MoveOn.org organized protests in 47 state capitals. Veterans groups issued statements supporting impeachment based on Trump's disregard for military law. Even some conservative legal organizations, typically Trump allies, published analyses concluding the evidence meets constitutional impeachment standards. The momentum is building in ways that make conviction politically conceivable. International allies are watching with a mixture of relief and alarm. European diplomats privately expressed hope that impeachment might restore American constitutional order, but concern that the process itself reveals deep institutional fragility. One leaked diplomatic cable from a NATO ally described the situation as democracy attempting self-correction under maximum stress. Translation: America's partners are uncertain whether impeachment will stabilize or further destabilize U.S. governance. Either way, Trump's international credibility is gone. Inside the White House, panic has reportedly escalated to crisis. Trump's legal team is preparing constitutional challenges, arguing impeachment articles are politically motivated and legally insufficient. But they face a devastating problem. The evidence is too strong and too well documented. Every challenge requires arguing that Trump's own cabinet members are lying under oath, that authenticated recordings are fabricated, that classified military documents are forged. None of those defenses are credible. Trump's lawyers know it, and their desperation is visible. Thursday brings the first Judiciary Committee hearing on impeachment evidence. Multiple cabinet members have been subpoenaed to testify under oath. If any confirm the recordings are accurate and Trump ignored their legal warnings, impeachment becomes inevitable. Conviction remains uncertain, but the process will dominate American politics for months and destroy whatever remains of Trump's political authority. And Zohran Mamdani, who handed congressional investigators the evidence that started this avalanche, is preparing to take office as mayor of New York while Trump fights for his presidency. The mayor-elect just accomplished what the entire Democratic Party couldn't do for 9 years. He didn't just resist Trump. He built the case that might end him.